everybody. Ginetta Vendetta here. Woohoo! Live, cool jazz, live from New York. Woohoo! Hi, welcome. Ginetta Vendetta. It is June 18th, y'all. Thursday in New York City. Cool jazz live from New York City. Gonna have to call it cool jazz live from New York City. Kind of not a lot of the masters because of the Facebook problem. Hi, Ease. Thank you for watching. Nice to see you, and I'm glad I can finally say hello in person as it was, because I noticed you last night, but only after the show. Thank you so much for joining me, Ease. And as always, I'm going to kick it off with some beautiful, I like starting off with a bossa nova. Okay, and first I like to give people a look at these crazy hairdos that I continually come up with. How's it going, Ease? Hi! Okay, so we're gonna kick it off with a beautiful show. This is Cool Jazz Live from New York City. And thank you for all the way from London. Woohoo! Still waiting for my girl Lily to sign on. Hope everybody's okay over there across the pond. We are doing great. We are now coming into a nice warm weather. There you are, Lily. I was just asking where you were because Ace is here. Hi! Nice to see you. Woohoo! We're gonna kick it off with some cool bossa nova like I like to ease into my shows, y'all. Plus, we gotta keep the volume a little cooler. But let's see what we got here, y'all. I'm gonna kick it off with a classic. This is a beautiful backing track, and this is my favorite, One Note Samba. Let's hear what we got. Won't be too loud, but guess what? We're gonna swing, y'all. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Woo! Yeah, here we go, y'all. Woo! Ginetta Vendetta. Hey, Kenny. How's it going, Kenny? We got got a great drummer here. Kenny, I've been getting complaints from Facebook, so I can't really play with the masters. I'm doing some swinging backing tracks, though. And this is vocal week. Yeah! Nice to see you, Kenny. Nice to see you, Tommy, Lily, East, all the way from across the pond, and Tom from uptown. Kenny, I don't know where you are. Are you upstate? Anyway, nice to see you, and thank you for watching. It is vocal week, and tonight I am representing the musical freedom fighter. And what is her name? Her original name, Ruth Lee Jones, also known to fans far and wide as the fabulous Dinah Washington, who packed in 7 husbands, numerous lovers, dozens and dozens of records in her 39 short years on the earth. That's right, baby. Dinah Washington, and of all the women that I love, hi guys, nice to see you, baby. All these stars in the musical jazz women that I love, I find Dinah Washington to be most like me in her temperament. She had the biggest ears, and she did not suffer fools gladly. She was top-of-the-line musicians and went through dozens and dozens of men and husbands. I don't do that, but I'm just saying that I love her, man. Yeah, girl, Dinah Washington, and I have to play 2 tracks of Dinah. I can't not play Dinah Washington when I'm featuring her. But in the meantime, I kind of wanted to ease into Cool Jazz Live from New York City. I'm going to do another swinging track for you. And this, guys, is a track that I haven't done in a while, but I just love it. And it's something that is on my standard CD. And I'm just going to kind of cool into this here. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let me rewind. This is a tune called Killer Joe, y'all. What? Hold on. We're having a little trouble, obviously. Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I forgot that I can't do 2 things. Hold on, everybody. I'm having a little technical difficulty. Woo! Sorry about that, gang. I guess I'm not doing Killer Joe from there. Hey, everyone. Lily, woohoo! Hi, guys. Hi. Hi, Paulie and Phil. Nice to see both of you. Cool Jazz Live from New York City. I am going to do Killer Joe, but not from the iTunes thing. I'm going to do Killer Joe from where? Right from my set list here, which I have curated a wonderful show for you guys. And this is a swinging backing track by a guy named Eagleheart, and he has really nice tracks. I really appreciate it. Hold on. Let's see what we got. And tonight we are featuring, who are we featuring? That's right. We are featuring the fabulous Dinah Washington. Woo! Born Ruth Lee Jones, baby, in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Hi, Lorraine! Woo! Welcome, girl. Nice to see you, baby. Here we go. Joe. Woo! Cool Joe. Mean Joe. Cool Joe. Come on, baby. Phil and Thomas. Hi guys, a beautiful tune available on my standard CD. Now guys, I keep tugging at this while I'm playing, which is not good. I don't want to have a wardrobe malfunction, but hey, listen, this is live TV. Also, I'm keeping the volume okay, and I hope it is loud enough for you. If you need a little, I know, I'm so glad you made it, Micheline. 12 weeks, girl. This is our 12th week, and I am featuring who? The fabulous Dinah Washington. Let me give you a little schooling on Dinah, y'all. First of all, she was born Ruth Lee Jones down in Tuscaloosa, and I know a killing tenor player named Lloyd down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I was actually held prisoner in Tuscaloosa. I was held hostage by a promoter down in Alabama. I don't know if y'all know this. I know I told this story. The guy alleged we had some gigs. Well, we had one gig. Then he took me from Birmingham to this out-of-the-way place, some sort of, you know those hotels off the highway that are like, they're more like motels. They like have kitchens and everything else. And I said, what the hell? For 3 nights, I didn't have any gigs and no contact with anyone. And he kept making excuses. Well, don't you know the 3rd night, he said, guess what, Ginetta? I'm running out of money, so we're going to have to share a room. What? So listen, I mean, I kept up as long as I could with this nonsense because I was trying to bang the money out of him. Well, don't you know, I banged as much money as I could out of him and took a $300 cab ride. I'm sure I told this story. $300 cab ride to Atlanta to catch a 5 a.m. plane. And let me tell you something, that cab driver, what an amazing, I mean, who pays that money for a cab? Me? Because I was desperate. And what did I do? I put it on my boyfriend's card because I never carry all that cash and I don't have a credit card. He was mad as a wet hen. I'm like, dude, I have to call you at 2, 3 in the morning because I'm desperate. I need to use your card. It was really a scene, man. Unbelievable. But anyway, I digress. That's because I was talking about the beautiful, what was her name? Ruth Lee Jones, born in Tuscaloosa, moved as a child when she was about 5 or 6 to Chicago, my kind of town, my kind of town. And guess what? She fell in love with it. It fell in love with her. And she, again, just like the previous person I did yesterday, she was in the choir. She was a piano player for the choir. She joined a gospel group when she was about 14 and just quit high school. Said, hell, I know exactly what I want to do, so this is what I'm going to do. At 15, she won a talent contest and started working working in and around Chicago nightclubs. Nobody checked ID back then. I mean, a lot of these musicians that I tell you about, they're working and gigging at like 15, 14, 16 years old. I just love it, man. So this is Ruth Lee Jones, who is still going by her name, Ruth Lee Jones, in Chicago. Who did she play with at a hotel in Chicago for 1 year? Fats Waller. What? That was in what, maybe 1941, 42, 1940? Now, Fats Waller passed on in 44. You remember this. Why? Because I featured him last week. The fabulous, dapper Dan Fats Waller, who was hijacked by Al Capone to play his birthday party. But I digress again. Ruth Lee Jones. Okay, so she fell in love with all things music, could play piano, sang her ass off, and was steady gigging by the time she was 15, 16. How'd she get her name? You know, I love this part of the story. Hi, Anastasia Renee. Nice to see you, baby. So check it out. Some guy, when she was working at the hotel with Fats Waller, a friend of hers came and said, girl, you got to come and hear this new singer. Her name is Bill. Well, she's not new. You got to hear Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday. So Billie Holiday had a residency at a bar or venue in Chicago. What was the name of that joint? It was called Garrick Stage Bar, okay? And this guy named Joe Sherman, the minute he heard her singing, he booked her for the upstairs room. Now, Lily, I know there's a room just like that in London that I want to play. There's a downstairs main room, and then there's an upstairs. So here in Chicago, Garrick Stage Bar or something, she was working in the upstairs room, and Billie Holiday downstairs in the main room. And don't you know, the owner, Joe Sherman, she credits him with giving her the name from Ruth Lee Jones to Dinah Washington. I couldn't find any intel on why she picked Dinah or where they got Washington, you know what I mean? But that is the story of Dinah. And don't you know, not a couple of months later, she was there for a year. Lionel Hampton came through and said, girl, you're coming on the road with me. The rest is history, because she had a string of hits in the 40s, string of hits in the 50s, and was considered the most popular, they said, black female entertainer of the 50s. Not Etta James, even though she was swinging and singing during that era too. So anyway, guys, we are talking about who? The fabulous, inimitable Dinah Washington, one of our amazing musical freedom fighters. And what I'm going to do with her, this is called Singing with the Masters, is a swinging tune called Big Long Sliding Thing. Okay? This was allegedly for a trombone player. You're going to love this song, man. I could not include this in the freaking show. Here we go. What do we got? All right, let's see what I Big Long Sliding Thing, which was banned from a bunch of radio stations. Okay? I'm going to sing along with Dinah, but I want you to hear her voice, y'all. Woo! Woo! Come on, baby.
I've been in every bar.
I've been in every bar.
Been in every honky-tonk.
Been in every honky-tonk.
Been trying to find my daddy.
Been trying to
With
find my
that broke
daddy.
down piece of junk.
With that broke down piece of junk.
Ask everyone to help me.
I've asked everyone
Try
to help
me
me.
if you can.
Please help me if you can.
You know my daddy. He's that trombone
He's that
playing man.
trombone playing man.
Where's my daddy?
He's my
Tell
daddy.
me where's my daddy? With that big long sliding thing.
With a big long sliding thing. Hi, Stacey. Hello, Anna. This is for you.
I even asked a man
Even as a man.
that played a steel guitar.
Play the steel
He
guitar.
said that you don't need him.
You don't need him, girl.
Moved 8 to the bar.
Move 8 to the
He
bar.
brought his amplifier.
He brought his amplifier.
And he hitched it
Listen
in my
to these
plug.
words, y'all. Hey, girl.
He planked it.
Hitched it in my
And
plug.
he plumped it.
What?
But it just wasn't
Just
good
wasn't
enough.
enough, y'all.
Cause I need my daddy.
I need my
Need my daddy.
Woo!
With that
With
big
that
long
sliding
sliding thing.
thing. Woo! That big long sliding thing. And a trombone player.
Well, then a knock came at my door.
Knocking on the
I
door.
said, my daddy's
Ooh,
back.
my daddy's home.
I opened up the door.
Opened up the door.
And there stood Piano Jack. He said, I came to do some
Hey,
tinkling
girl.
on your piano
On your
keys.
piano keys, girl.
I said, don't make me nervous.
Don't make me nervous.
This ain't no time
This ain't no
to
time to
tease.
tease.
Just send me my daddy.
Just send me my daddy.
Send me my daddy.
Oh,
With that big long sliding thing.
Woo! What? Girl.
Well, the first time he played, I asked him how it was done.
How is it done, boy?
He said, I blow through here.
I blow through
Then
here.
I work my fingers and my
Then I
thumb.
work my fingers
I
up and down.
slide it right out. Then I slide it back again. And I get a lot of wind. And then I slide it back again. Well, here's my daddy. And I
Woo, yo, big long sliding thing? I mean, really, Dinah? So anyway, 7 husbands and countless lovers, and obviously some swinging lyrics, y'all. Just wanted you to get a taste of her beautiful voice, which kind of cut through. It was almost like an alto saxophone. It didn't have that husky lowness of Etta James, nor that beautiful smoothness of Ella Fitzgerald or Sarah Vaughan, who they called sassy. No, Dinah was really kind of sharp, man, and she took no prisoners, y'all. As I said, she packed a lot of living, husbands, lovers, records, music, and not only she was a massive star in the 50s, and her biggest hit, 1959, What a Difference a Day Makes, 24 little hours. That was her, girl. Okay, so interspersed with my news about this fabulous musical freedom fighter, Dinah Washington, born Ruth Lee Jones, I like to kind of put other stuff in. And since we are featuring songwriters, I wanted to tell you about a song because I got a request from my friend Steve Santo months ago, maybe 6 weeks. He said, Ginetta, I love that tune, Sunny. Can you do the tune Sunny? So I did it weeks and weeks and weeks ago, but I wanted to do an instrumental version. And I also wanted to tell you about Bobby Hebb, who is the author of Sunny, when and the situation he wrote it in. Bobby Hebb wrote it on November 23rd and 24th, 48 hours it took him to write the song after a double tragedy. President Kennedy's assassination and his brother who got stabbed in Nashville. Now, Bobby Hebb was a singer since he was a baby. Him and his brother were working in clubs since he was 3 and 9 with his blind musician parents. Can you believe it? So when his brother was killed, and after President Kennedy, the same day, he said, I cannot stand it. So he just said, I'm going to write this beautiful song. And Sunny, don't you know it wasn't released till 1966? I don't know why. So it was recorded at the end, I guess in 64, because he wrote it in the end of November. Probably didn't get it together till 64. Let me see, maybe the middle of 64. Somebody sat on it for a year. Don't you know it went to the top of the charts, and it is number 25 on the 100 most influential songs in the world, one of the most recorded, along with Besame Mucho. Can you believe it? I had to include it. Also give you a little history on a singer named Bobby Hebb, who some people would call a one-hit wonder, y'all. Now, I don't want to say that about Bobby, but, you know, I don't know much about him after that tune. Here we go. Let's see what we got. All right, I got to turn this. Woo! Woo! This is called Sunny, y'all. Sunny. Woo! Let's crank it up a little. are gone and the bright days are here. My sunny love is so sincere, so and so true. I love you. So thank you for that sunshine that you brought my way. So yeah. Thank you for that lovely sunshine bouquet. Ooh, my love you gave to me all in all. Yeah. Now, sunny baby, I feel 10 feet tall. Sunny, whoa, I love you. Woo! Come on, y'all. Hi, Susie Q. Sunny, 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 sunny. Yesterday my life was filled with pain. Sunny, 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 sunny. You smiled at me and you got rid of that rain. Dark days are gone and bright days are here. My sunny one is so sincere. Sunny one so true. Don't you know that I love you? Don't you know that I love you, Sunny? Don't you know that I love you, Sunny? Don't you know that I love you, Sunny? Hi. Don't you know that I love you, Sunny? Don't you know that I love you, Sunny? Baby, don't you know you brought me so much joy? You gave to me all and all and all and all. Baby boy, now I feel 10 feet tall. Sunny, so true. I love you. Here we go now. Woo! Hey y'all! Woo! Welcome everybody. Hi girl. I'm so glad. Better late than never, Susie Q. Yes, ma'am. Hi, Anastasia. Stacy, good to see you back, baby girl. Woo! Anna. Woo! Laura. Hey, Elsie. by the fabulous Bobby Hebb, who some folks will call a one-hit wonder. 1963, right after President Kennedy's assassination and the death of his brother. 1963, written in November, recorded in the following year of 64, not released till early 66. Wondering why they sat on it. I guess it was a long production and I had to add a lot more to the record. But I'll tell you, man, that single rocketed to the top of the charts. And since we are featuring singers, I thought, let me feature a little known guy because I love the sort of cool jazz vibe with the horn, and I love that tune, and I wanted to give props to the composer and the singer Bobby Hebb. Anyway, you are here with Ginetta's Vendetta live, cool jazz live from New York City. I am your hostess, Ginetta Vendetta. Woohoo! Any requests, please just let me know. Any requests at all? Anna, that tune was for you. That was a Dinah Washington thing, big long sliding thing. That's right, girl. I just did that. Stacy, nice to see you, girl. So happy. Hope all the kids and everybody's doing great. Anastasia, Lily, Susie Q. I'm so glad. Hi, Seth. Nice to see you, Seth. Thank you for joining me, baby. Another beautiful night. This is week 12, and we are featuring the fabulous Dinah Washington. So what am I going to do now? Well, let me tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do something by Dinah, which is a classic, fabulous tune. And I think, hold on. First of all, let me take a little sip of tea and see how everybody's doing. Take the temperature of the city. It looks like everybody's out and about. It's a Thursday night. And if I'm not mistaken, y'all, this is Gay Pride Weekend. It's usually the third weekend in June. Well, guess what? So folks are really, man, let me tell you about last year. Holy cow. If you've just joined us, my name is Ginetta Vendetta. You are listening to Cool Jazz Live from New York City, my nightly jazz show. I call it like a jazz ministry, dude. And what I've coined a phrase, America's greatest export, which is jazz. And I want to give a shout out. First of all, let me correct myself last night. Anna, I can't believe you didn't correct me. Girl, you know better than that. You know Aretha Franklin didn't do Feel Like Making Love. It was Roberta Flack. What on earth? I can't believe nobody corrected me. But anyway, I have so many billions and billions of facts, like Carl Sagan, billions and billions. But anyway, so let me make a correction. Last night I said that beautiful tune, Feel Like Making Love, was Aretha? Hell no. It was Roberta Flack. Another classic, amazing singer. So please forgive me. Okay. So I was talking about Dinah Washington, talking about something else, and it just went right out of my head. So that's what happens when you hit the big 5-0, y'all. Things sort of go, and I had a guitar player friend, T. He always said, Ginetta, at a certain age, if you remember something, you better do it right then. Otherwise, it'll go right out of your head. I don't mind. I'm doing great. So welcome, we are featuring the fabulous Dinah Washington, guys. And yes, let me see. Yeah, nobody corrected me. Hi, Missy. Nice to see you, baby girl. Woohoo! So glad. Better late than never, everybody. That's what I always say. And thank you so much for joining me. While I'm taking a little break for a second, I'm just going to show you my website. You know what I always say? All things Ginetta, guys. Woohoo! Yes, ma'am. Thank you so very much for joining me for your special time each and every night. I really appreciate it, guys. You guys are great. And I got a brand new iPad, but it turns out my iTunes, I have to load them manually. Hey, girl, I didn't even remember that story I wanted to tell about Missy Priest is, hi, Herb, nice to see you. How's the big O? Omaha. Missy Priest is the daughter of my mom's best friend, and my mom and her mom used to hang around all the time, and they have some serious, amazing stories. So it's really wonderful. We are continuing this tradition. Herb Thompson, woo, all the way from Omaha. I'd love to come out there, Herb. Hope everything's opening back up and getting back to normal, man. Okay, so I was going to do another gorgeous tune that is intrinsically associated with the fabulous Dinah Washington, who, after joining Lionel Hampton in '42, he took her from this club where the club owner was named Joe Sherman. It was called Garrick Stage Bar. And she played there for a year until Lionel Hampton discovered her. She went on the road with him. During her tenure with him, she had like 2 or 3 massive hits in the middle 40s. And then she left him, and then she's just been playing with everybody. She recorded on something called Keynote Records till they went bust. Then she changed her record label to Mercury Records, and she had massive success. success. Massive throughout the 50s. And what I didn't mention was Dinah Washington lived on a lot of pills. The way she died was unfortunate. Her 7th husband, Dick Night Train, what the heck was his last name? He was a football player. And I've mentioned this before, she used a lot of pills. So Dinah did a whole bunch of pills. And because of her weight, she was not very tall, and she was trying to keep her weight in check. So she was on these really strong diet pills. Much like Judy Garland, y'all. That's what killed them all. Yeah. And then you got to take these heavy-duty Secanols to sleep, and bam. And that's what happened. But anyway, okay. I keep talking, and I'm trying to find this swinging tune from her that I want to sing in her honor. A beautiful song that I want. Geez, where the hell are, oh my God, I want to, hold on guys. Okay, now, hold on. I write everything down because nobody knows how I feel this morning. Issue is or issue ain't my baby. That's what I want to do. But I'm going to do it without her. And I'm sure I got a swinging track. I just can't find it. Issue is or issue ain't my baby. What? Okay, so where the hell is it? Oh, here it is. Okay, so we're going to do this swinging tune, which was a big hit for Dinah Washington. Issue is or issue ain't my baby. We are featuring musical freedom fighters, specifically female vocalists who have come before us and paved the way through their hardship and various challenges in the music industry, man. All right, let's see what we got here. Hold on. All right, let's try that again. Here we go. Woo! Here we go, guys. Hopefully I can do some justice to this, y'all. This is a classic by Dinah. I got a man who's always late. Anytime we have a date, but I love him. Yes, I love him. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna walk right up to his gate and let's see if we can get this thing straight. Cause I'm on him, baby. Yeah, I intend to have him. Woo! Come on, fool. I'll just ask him, is you is or is you ain't my baby? Woo! Come on, baby. Because the way you're acting, well, it makes me doubt. Yeah. Will you still be my baby, baby? Woo! But it seems the flame in your heart for me has gone out. Now man is a creature who always been strange. Just when you're sure one thing, the man goes up and changes. Is you is or is you ain't my baby? Woo! Come on, baby. Well, maybe, baby, find somebody new. Or is my baby still my baby true? Woo! Come on, baby. Please let me know if you is my baby. I need to know, fool, because guess what? I'm just going to pack one up and get out if you can't give me a straight answer. That's right. What? Well, listen up. A man is a creature who's always been strange. Just when you think you know one thing, the brother goes up and does change. Well, it's you ain't my baby. Woo! Maybe baby's found somebody new. Or is my baby still my baby true? Or is my baby still my baby true? everywhere besides. What a difference a day makes. Actually, is you ain't my baby. We are celebrating the fabulous, wonderful Dinah Washington, born Ruth Lee Jones, down in Tuscaloosa. Thank you, sweetheart. Yeah, I'd much rather sing along with her, but you know what? These Facebook police are really riding me. They're riding me like a city bus, y'all, and that is not good. And also, I'm doing things a little on the down low tonight because for the first time last night, we got a noise complaint. So hopefully you can hear me. Hopefully there's that same intensity. Everything's just fine. Thank you, Susie. Woo, Michael Steve, hi. You look like a new fan. Michael Steve Sarmiento. Ciao. Dove sei, Italia? Thank you, Susie Q. You're so sweet, baby. So talking about the fabulous, gosh, she packed a lot of living into 39 years, man. I don't know how she got her, we know how she got her name, Dinah Washington, from who, but not what inspired those two names. Her name was Ruth Lee Jones. You would think she would have kept something from her name. Most musicians, when they changed their name, well, Peggy Lee didn't, Norma Jean Krager or something, or Norma, her name was Norma Dolores Eggstrom. That was Peggy Lee's real name. So you would think she would keep the first name Norma. I still don't know how Peggy Lee got her name. Norma Jean Eggstrom was Peggy Lee's real name. Ruth Lee Jones, they had a big thing for those three name things back in the day, man. My name is Ginetta Vendetta, y'all. Thank you for joining me if you just joined us. Cool Jazz live from New York. Thank you, Tomsy. Every day, Tommy puts my tip bucket. So if you guys feel the need to contribute, please feel free. PayPal.me/Ginetta's Vendetta or Venmo.com/Ginetta Sylvie for all you youngsters in the house. You 20-somethings who don't even know what cash is. You all have, well, I do Apple Pay too, but because all the kids swipe their Apple Pay. And anyway, now with all the germs and stuff, they might actually be encouraging folks to do that because all you got to do is swipe. You don't have to touch any money. You don't have to take anything out of your wallet. You just hold the phone up. I find that's a little eerie. And why? There's a great book called The Circle, y'all. They made it into a terrible movie, missed the whole point, but read the book The Circle. It is the shizzle. It's about a massive company. It was based on Apple and how it just takes over, and privacy and any sort of individuality is stamped out. It's like a serious Twilight Zone. Okay, guys, so I am Ginetta Vendetta, and we are featuring the fabulous Ruth Lee Jones, Dinah Washington, who had a voice that could cut like a knife, and who knows how many other records she would have made. In, 39 years, she made dozens of them, and she also was a side woman or had like masters on her record like Clark Terry, all just master sax players, super duper jazz guys. She really incorporated a whole bunch of massive musicians, and her and Quincy Jones in 1961 did a whole mess of recordings with Quincy Jones's big band. Yes, sir. Now, I wanted to tell you about that tune. The tune was called Nobody Knows the Way That I Feel. And this is a tune I'm going to sing along with Dinah. Hi guys, there's some people that don't know what a check is. Anna, that's right. And there was a funny scene in one of my favorite shows. It's a show on Netflix called Dead to Me. It is hysterical. The girl goes to write this young, like 18-year-old influencer a check, and the girl is like, why are you taking notes? And you know what? The funny thing is, I just ordered checks today. I called my bank because I'm trying to pay my rent that way, even though I've been paying it digitally during the quarantine. I called my bank and I said, how come I don't have any checks? And the guy said, did you order any? I said, no. I thought maybe they just came with the account, dude. I mean, come on. But anyway, you're right. Who does checks anymore? Okay, guys. So that's a funny thing about the current folks. Okay. So let's do another cool kind of jazz thing. I'd like to play a little something for you. I'm so very happy to be here. So happy I haven't gotten any phone calls, although I did put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I wouldn't get them anyway. Hi, Saman. Nice to see you, Saman Piano. I saw you checking out my show last night when I was doing the comments, so I'm glad you made it on the live show so I can give you a shout out. Okay, so I want to do a jazz tune. Let me see. This is a swinging tune called Footprints Footprints is a swinger. Now, we know all about Footprints, Wayne Shorter, the quintet, blah, 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 because I went through all that last time. But this is one of his signature tunes. Wayne Shorter, one of the greatest sax players. And here we go, Footprints. This is a backing track, y'all. Again, I can't play the original because, you know, the rights committee. Here we go, let's see what I got. Oh, this is a swinging tune, so we're going to take you back to real jazz head.
1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3.
One of the most famous bass lines in a straight ahead jazz. Woo! Footprint, y'all. Woo! composition by the famous tenor player Wayne Shorter. Hi, everybody. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Cousin Deborah. Nice to see you, girl. I had to be messing with the volume because I had some volume complaints. So when the drummer starts really cranking it up, I actually have to turn it down. So I got to go up and down with that volume, which is the dickens to do. I'm usually used to. Thank you, sweetheart. Thanks, Alanya. That's a tough tune, man. So happy to be here. Ginetta Vendetta here, and we are celebrating Vocal Week, and I'm interspersing some swinging backing tracks. And the woman we are featuring today is the fabulous Dinah Washington. What? So I'm going to do a tune with her. I'm not doing a lot of tunes with the masters because, as I said, Facebook is quite strict about it, and I guess I have to be happy about that because I have a lot of tunes also that are protected by copyrights and all sorts of things. So I really can't, I cannot really complain, you know, because I wouldn't want people doing it. So we are celebrating the fabulous Dinah Washington. So happy to see everybody. Thank you for joining me live from New York City. A beautiful hot day here in New York. Now this tune, Nobody Knows the Way I Feel This Morning, is a blues tune. This was done in 1961 with Quincy Jones as the producer of a big band. Now the trumpet player you're going to hear is Joe Newman, a swinging trumpet player. And on that record also was we had George Duvivier on bass. You've heard of George Duvivier because all these masters have worked with everybody. It's a very small community, and I've said this before in the jazz community. That's why you always got to pay your guys correctly. You got to act right because people talk. I don't care if you're at the Java Jazz Festival in Indonesia or you're in New York City. These people, we travel back and forth all around the world, and so word gets around. So my point is, these same musicians on the Dinah Washington record have worked with dozens and dozens and dozens of other stars. So a lot of these backing guys, a lot of these rhythm sections have backed up massive stars as well, besides the fabulous Dinah Washington. Now this was a session with the fabulous Quincy Jones, who came to amazing prominence to all the young folk in 1984 when he produced Michael Jackson's Off the Wall record that broke all the records in the world, right? Off the Wall, what came after that? The one with the monster video? Anybody know the name of that? Because it just escaped me. But anyway, Quincy Jones, this is when he was a much younger man and also a trumpet player. And he produced this record called Nobody Knows the Way I Feel. Illinois Jack Cat, a killing tenor player on this swinging session. The guitar player is Billy Butler. You're going to hear a lot of guitar on this. And this is called Nobody Knows the Way I Feel This Morning. I cannot possibly do a thing about this fabulous woman without you hearing her real live voice. Hold on, guys. This thing is kind of giving me what for? Oh, here we go. Now, this is from the Quincy Jones session, 1961. A big band behind Dinah Washington doing this swinging blues tune. Here we go.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows
Way I feel this morning.
the way I feel this morning. Nobody knows
The way I feel this
where I feel this morning.
Well,
If I had my way,
don't you know the graveyard would be the place
don't you know the grave will be the place
man would lay?
that my man would lay? Oh yeah, baby, don't mess with me.
Nobody knows
Nobody knows
the way I feel.
where I feel this morning. Woo! Thriller, thank you, Lily. That's it.
I pawned everything
I pawned everything
that
I had this morning. I pawned it all. Woo! Girl,
Yeah. I pawned everything
pawned everything.
I could get my hands
I
on.
can get my hands
This
on
morning.
this morning. Except my horn, girls. You know I'm never gonna pawn my horn. Hell no.
I pawned my ring,
Pawn my ring.
watch and chain.
Go watch and chain.
I would have pawned myself.
Pawned
Don't you know I felt kind of
Don't you know I felt kind of shamed?
Nobody
Nobody knows
knows
where
I feel this morning.
feel this morning. You're listening to the fabulous Queen Dinah Washington.
Lord, I feel
tenor sound, y'all.
I feel like I could scream,
Feel like I can scream.
holler and cry,
Holler and
but
cry.
I'm too stout-hearted.
I'm too stout-hearted. That's right.
I'd rather die.
Rather die.
Cause nobody knows
Nobody knows
the way I
where I
feel this morning.
where I feel this morning. Sing it, Dinah.
Girls, let me tell you,
Girls, let me tell
if
you.
your man stays out
If your man stays out
all night
all night
till morning,
till first of all, you need to change the locks, girl.
I said if your man
If
stays
your
out
man stays out,
and don't come home
don't come home
till morning,
till morning. Whether those locks would have been changed after the first night.
don't waste your breath
Don't waste your breath
by fussing at him.
by fussing at him, y'all.
Just maul him on the head with your rolling pin.
Maul him on the head with your rolling pin, girls.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows, y'all. That's right.
How I feel.
Where I feel this morning. That's right, brother. I'm gonna save my voice. I'll just whack you over the head with an ashtray.
Yeah, I feel like I can scream.
I feel like I can scream,
Scream and cry.
scream and cry
Morning.
this morning. Woo! Come on, baby.
Lord, 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 I feel like I can scream. Yeah, scream and cry.
Woo! That's right. Go ahead, Dinah.
I feel like screaming, crying, but I'm too stout-hearted. Cause nobody knows the trouble I see.
No, I don't know what's the trouble I say. No, I know
The way I feel this morning.
where I feel this evening. Woo! Sing it, Dinah. Sing it.
I'd rather be a singer on a fishing line this morning.
I'd rather be a sinker on the end of the line, though. On a fishing line.
This morning.
What? Girl, that's bad. That is really, really bad, y'all.
I'd rather be a sinker on a fishing
On a
line
fishing line, fool.
than to have my mind
Gonna
frustrated
have my mind
all the time.
fussing all the time. Fussing, fussing,
Nobody
fussing.
knows.
Nobody knows
Nobody knows the way I feel.
what I feel this morning. Thank you, Missy. That's a swinging, swinging, swinging.
I even hate to hear my daddy's name. Lord, 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 I hate to hear. I hate to hear my daddy's name.
Oh my gosh, it's 7 o'clock. Guys, we gotta go. What? Oh my God, y'all.
I even hate
I
to
can sing
hear.
tonight, y'all. I didn't even realize what time it was. Woo! Love you, everybody. I am way over time, y'all, and thank the gods we didn't get any complaints. Much love to you all. I gotta sign right out, y'all. This is Ginetta Vendetta live from New York City. Love you. And remember, expect and receive only the best, y'all. I will see you tomorrow night.